The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You're on.
In July. It is July.
July 25th.
Oh, let's go.
You want to go?
I do. That would be cool.
All right. Welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Farrell, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. So, over the last several months,
Yeah.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon has been revealed that he's paid more than $12 million to several women over the course of 16 years.
Over the course of 16 years.
What do you give me your take on this whole thing, Farrell?
Vince likes to have sex with women. That's my take, and it's become public.
It can't be that simple.
Well, to me, it is that simple. Vince is, look, this is over 16 years. We have an habitual, I need some kind of thing going on here.
So,
and you know what? I bet you it goes back a lot further than 16 years. If it's
I'm
16
sure it
years,
did.
let's be honest, man. This has got to probably go
well,
back.
you had Mario Mancini on the show, and Mario really was worn out on talking about it. So we fairly we respect our guests.
Absolutely.
So we decided not to talk about it.
Right.
But Vince was accused of raping a former referee woman. And everybody's aware of that story.
Yep.
And a settlement came out over that.
Right.
More recent than the past. Right.
Right.
We now know that Vince had an affair with his paralegal or someone in the legal department who he hired, who he met in his condo area. Then it's also been revealed that a wrestler, a former female wrestler, was paid $7 million as she was coerced into giving him oral sex, and then later on no longer wanted to continue this relationship and accuses Vince of not renewing her contract over it.
Gotcha.
Again, we all don't know who it is. Have you heard who this female wrestler is?
I read an article that was saying that every woman that you ever saw him lap tongues with, he's banged. Do you realize how long that list is? Like they were saying Trish Stratus, Stacy Keibler. There's more.
Do you believe that, though?
No.
I don't either.
No, but I do think that Vince, to be fair, I do think that Vince has had handfuls of women, most likely, from what we can kind of see on the surface, what little we really truly do know. 16 years is a long time to have, a bunch of payoffs. And again, if you go back to the situation with the lady referee back in the 80s, this goes way more than 16 years, that this kind of weirdness.
Well, wait a minute. I really want to break this down because I think there's some important subjects here.
Right.
But I want to get something clear here because this is a really good comment, and I wasn't going this way, but I saw the comment, and I'm sorry, guys.
Well, where are we going?
But basically, I'm not giving a shout out for who wrote it, but I can't seem to find it. But I just saw it come up. But anyway,
what was the gist?
They asked, raise your hands if you think that Vince had any kind of relationship with Shawn Michaels.
I do not believe that.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Why?
Because Vince McMahon, to me, is just, I don't know. I don't find him that way. That's not the vibe I get from him. Not that that means anything. That's just my personal vibe. I don't get that vibe from him at all. At all. Just because, he knew Pat Patterson's, situation, or he knew about Terry Garvin or Mel. I don't think that he himself was like, oh, let's go out tonight and skip rope.
I don't mean it like that.
You don't strike me that way.
Listen, I think I mentioned this before.
And what would that make Shawn Michaels, by the way? Do we even think about the other person we throw into this? What would that make Shawn Michaels? What are we?
It would
talking?
make him bisexual.
But with all the other
Are
things,
sexually
with all
inquisitive.
the other things that Shawn Michaels was doing behind the scenes, and the women he was running around with, and the careers he was trying to stop in his good name. Now he's Mr. Reborn. Really, we're going to throw that one on top of the cake too? Man, that's fucked up to me.
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
So Piper
Yeah.
admitted to doing something with Pat Patterson,
Right.
willingly
Right.
to further his career.
He sure seems remorseful.
Would you consider Piper a homosexual?
It didn't sound to me like it was something he wanted to do.
But he did
But
it.
if you do it, you are it. Right?
I don't know if you're homosexual. You could be bisexual
Well,
or inquisitive.
so what does that mean? He was a one-hit wonder? I don't understand what that means.
Could be a one-hit wonder.
All right, if it was what it was.
So Vince, Shawn, that couldn't be a one-hit wonder?
I don't see it. You're
I'm not
asking
saying-
me what I see.
No, I'm just
Well,
saying.
how I think about it.
I get
Could
it.
it be? I guess. But I don't think so. I'm much more inclined to think that Vince slept with Trish Stratus. Much more inclined to think that Vince slept with Stacy Keibler. Much more inclined to think that Vince slept with a billion other of these hot people. I did see one name I don't agree with. Sable. Brock would have killed him. He didn't sleep with Sable. I don't believe that. Unless Brock was like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, first of all,
What?
Sable could have been with Mark Merrow at that point.
Right. Oh, he got him on the in-between.
Yeah, could have got it in between.
Hey, Sable. That's possible. Lay down on the table, Sable.
I do think Sable.
You're
I
hired.
do think Sable had a settlement with them. I don't.
Yeah,
know
well,
what's
there
over.
you go. There's that too. I don't know.
but-
This whole thing makes me get the
So
heebie-jeebies.
again, a lot of people. So he
Ugh.
busted open had the
Busted Open?
the writers
What's
of
that?
busted. By the way, it's Bully Ray's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday! Get the birthday cake.
Happy birthday! You know who won't
Get
be
the
at his birthday
cake.
party though?
Who won't be at his birthday party?
Can you guess?
No, who?
Come on,
No, come on, help me out here. I hate when you do this. What? Who?
his hot ass girlfriend. Or
Oh,
ex-girlfriend.
Velvet Sky will not be there.
No, she won't.
She's outside. I'll be right back.
She won't be wishing.
Velvet!
She won't be wishing
What?
that fat fucking birthday.
Have
Anyway.
a fat fucking birthday, fat fuck. That's rough.
So
What the?
Vince. All right. So let's start here.
Through the table.
Vince
Yeah.
has consensual sex with women.
Yes, he does. That
Okay.
seems to be the. None of these are rape cases. Let's get real.
Well, but the reality of it is
Yeah.
these women are going into this willingly, but only willingly, probably because they either are in fear.
Right.
Look, let's be honest.
Yeah.
A 30 or
It's
20-year-old
manipulation,
is
brother.
not really sleeping with a 60. Yes.
It's manipulation, bro. Right? It's manipulation.
Manipulate how?
Manipulate with power.
So then that becomes a hostile work environment.
Sure does.
So then do you agree that what Vince is doing is wrong?
Absolutely, it's wrong.
Really?
If he's doing
Explain.
that. Well, what is there to explain? If you're freaking banging half the damn office and then pressuring them to continue banging you, look, if they bang you one time and they bang you and everything's cool, just don't you know when to not push it? And I also, there's the other side of the coin too. These women who are willingly having sex with Vince that are collecting later, you are no saint either. Probably most of you.
Well,
So I'm not too thrilled with any of this.
Again, not trying
You
to
know?
be victim.
I'll take
shame.
my $7
Again,
million
first of all,
now.
I don't
It's
want.
like,
I
wow,
sat
what
there and
the-
listened to LaGreca
You know?
talk about these victims and
Yeah.
how bad they're not victims.
They're not. No.
They
They're
willingly,
people who willingly
accepted this
got
proposal.
laid in hopes of probably furthering their career. So again, they're not saints in this picture.
No.
I think that they're all like, ugh, I don't know, dude. This is just a bunch of people being whores, isn't it?
So the point.
Horny? How about that?
One
Everybody's
point
horny.
LaGreca made was
Some people
how,
got rich.
How unfair
Great.
is it to
What about
other
me?
employees? How unfair is it for other employees to feel that
Oh,
that's
my
the
God.
only way to get up there is to do what these other
Like,
women
for
are
example,
doing?
you know who's screwed right now?
Who?
Your favorite, that the big one that's named after a flower or whatever her name is. What's her name?
Dewdrop?
Yeah, Dewdrop. It's not a flower. I was close. It comes off a flower.
Okay.
Yeah, she's screwed.
Why?
Because they're going to go jumping into bed with Alexa Bliss. This is not fair.
How do you know they don't want to like Dewdrop?
How do I know Vince didn't
Oh,
already
now you're
give
fat
it to-
shaming. Now you're fat
No,
shaming.
I'm just saying. You're
You're
saying.
fat shaming.
No, I'm stating facts.
No, you're stating your fact.
I'm stating that Vince McMahon
You're,
called me the other day.
you're
and said,
telling me.
Dewdrop is gross.
You're telling me.
I'm telling
what
you my
Vince
personal. It
likes.
doesn't mean I'm fat shaming. I think that Dewdrop standing next
You're
to
saying if you were Vince McMahon,
Trish Stratus,
you
it's
would
like,
not
gee,
have.
which one am I picking? White Castle or the filet mignon?
See, now you're comparing Dewdrop to White
That's
Castle.
an individual comparison, not a general statement
You're
on fat
shaming.
people. No
You're
way.
fat shaming.
No way. Nia Jax is hot. Fuck you.
You're fat shaming.
You're trying to make
No, you are
trying to paint me into a corner.
well,
Not happening.
you've been painted.
That's not
You're
fair.
white
Just because
and blue.
Tulip is a lousy wrestler and ugly is
All
not
right.
my fault. Is not my
Back
problem.
to it. So you're telling me that what Vince is doing is wrong.
Yeah, of course it is.
So then he should be relieved of his duties.
I didn't say that. He should be relieved of his wiener.
Come on.
I'm being serious. Put the thing out to pasture. You're 76. Cut him the fuck down. Stop fucking doing this.
But you're missing the point.
Am I?
Yes.
That's rough.
The point
Tell
is,
me.
look, if you rob
Tell
a
me the
bank,
point, oh, wise man.
if you rob a bank,
Wise man.
if you rob a bank,
Yeah.
okay, it's
Okay.
clearly illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal.
If you find out that you robbed the bank 7 years later, it's still wrong.
You don't have to get weird, but I feel like more like Vince is the bank and they're robbing him.
That's a valued point. Now tell me more.
What is there to say? I think that in general, they knew damn well what they were getting into, and now they're all piling on and getting their money. I think it's just as evil as... Wait a second, this guy's just an old dude, too. They're shaming him. This is not good.
All right. I'm going to give you some...
I turn the tables and you smile.
I'm going to give you... Well, because I don't even know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
He's an old guy, and now they're age-shaming
and they were like, I'll sleep with him, and then I'll sue him. Because he's an old bat. Nobody will take
First
it
of
on
all,
the surface.
how do you know they're being sued? Maybe it could be like
Well,
this.
they were probably threatening to sue,
No,
and that's why I cut them a
maybe
check.
it's this.
How do you get to the point where I'll give you $7 million without a threat?
How about we call...
Here, I'm $7 million.
Because maybe we call it something called prostitution.
Oh, interesting.
$7 million to the billionaire is like
it's $10.
$1,000
Yeah, you're right.
to
He just gave,
us.
He gave away nothing. He's fine.
He's like...
Wait a minute.
So, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You think there's a possibility? You could say to Trish, hey, Trish, here's the deal. I find you hot. I know I'm older.
I bet you.
In the end,
Yeah.
payday.
Right.
Hey, Vince, I'll do it.
And
And I'm not saying Trish did that. Don't get me wrong.
To be fair, Mr. McMahon was sexy back in the Attitude Era. He's Mr. McMahon. He
was okay. He was all right.
a genetic jackhammer.
Vince McMahon was never the best looking guy.
No,
Let's
not at all.
get crazy.
I'm
here.
not. But I'm saying in recent days, okay, really put it away. Calm down. Put that
right.
thing out to pasture.
Here's my point, okay? What's the difference between Vince McMahon approaching and... okay, you got one occasion where someone said he raped her. That, personally, I don't believe. I don't understand, unless you're that friggin' out of your mind that you feel like you can do anything.
Should Vince be compared to Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Okay.
Because Harvey
Now we're drawing lines.
Harvey Weinstein used his power
Right.
to stop people from getting other jobs from other places.
Interesting.
Okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
That's wrong.
Right. Okay.
So here's my point. Mickey James married
Yeah.
to Nick Gallus, right?
Right.
Why isn't that wrong in the workplace?
I don't see anything with it being wrong. Why do you?
Well, then why is Vince having sex with someone being wrong?
It's only immoral. If that's a
Why is that immoral?
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that's a matter of morality argument.
But my point is,
You know, I
Nick
mean, if
Aldis,
you're a hardcore Christian, you could stop and go, Vince McMahon is married. There is nothing more to talk about.
All right, but
You
everybody's,
have to understand that everybody's got
but
different
everybody's
ways of
well
looking at
aware
things.
that relationship's been severed for
Well, now
quite a
we're
long
really
time.
aware of it,
All right,
honestly. I
yeah.
mean, it rested in the rumor clouds until recently. Let's be
Right.
serious.
Okay.
We never
but
really...
now it's clear.
we kind of know.
Now it's clear.
Right.
So the morality of it is, did he force his way on these women? My point to you is, if Nick Aldis hooks up with Mickey James,
Right.
Stephanie McMahon
Right.
hooks up with Triple
Yeah,
H,
perfectly
China
right.
hooks up with Triple H,
Yeah.
Sonny hooks up with
Everybody.
well,
Hooks up with everybody.
I got you, but we'll just for this.
She didn't sue anybody.
For this conversation, Shawn Michaels,
Right.
Bret Hart, who got a divorce because he was cheating on his wife.
Ooh.
Okay, that's factual.
Excellence of execution.
Okay, so my point here is, what's the difference?
I don't know.
Dave LaGreca, okay,
Uh-oh.
not to pick on our friend Dave.
Our friend?
No, he's not our friend.
I'm confused.
We can't stand
Hi,
him.
Dave. What?
No, we don't like him.
Okay. Bye, Dave.
Bye,
Go
Dave.
ahead.
So Dave is holding that morality stance.
Dave?
Yes, against that Vince.
Dave had as many wives as King Henry VIII.
Well, hold on. That's a great point.
Didn't he?
Here's my point.
Or halfway?
You marry 4 women.
Yeah.
You divorce them.
Yeah.
And you pay them.
Oh.
Right? Alimony.
Right.
Because you can't keep your marriage.
Right.
Then you shouldn't
That
have a
takes two
job
to-
either.
Right.
Because you have no morality.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
marry women. You divorce them. Because you
Right.
meet somebody else.
Right.
And you pay them.
Right.
Is that any different than what Vince is doing?
No. Yeah. Now, the way you put it that way.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to. Am I making sense here?
Yeah, you make some sense. Yeah. At the end. So at the end of the day, Mike Monty, is Vince McMahon a bad guy?
Is Vince McMahon a bad guy?
Is he a bad guy?
So my concern.
Is he an immoral guy?
Is he moral?
Or is he just a regular dude?
Here's the problem.
With impulses.
Here's the problem.
I don't know.
I always go back to Dark Side of the Ring. Okay, Dark Side of the Ring, where they discuss with Jake Roberts says, at first you meet a hot girl and you have sex.
Yeah.
Then sooner or later that hot girl's not good enough, so you ask her to bring a friend. She brings a friend, and that's good for a while, but that's not good enough.
She brings a friend.
And then he asks her to bring a couple more friends.
What?
And that's not good enough. Then he asks her to bring a dog, bring a broom.
A dog?
But he was just using examples.
Bird?
It gets weirder and weirder
it's
and
getting
weirder.
weird. Yeah.
So here's a guy like Vince, right? He's a competitor.
Oh, he is.
Right? I'm sure none of the sexual escapades were going on in his battle with WCW because he was in a missed battle.
Right.
But as times calm down,
see
the
you.
powerful challenger is looking for another
I'll
challenge.
see you, Stacy Keibler, and raise you 2 Trish Stratuses.
Do I still look at Vince McMahon as a great American? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I still look up to him as one of my idols growing up?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow.
Do I look at him as one of my mentors in the business world? Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Am I disappointed if he
Right.
raped someone?
Ooh.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah.
That gets filed into forget you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you made decisions to pay people for whatever reason, it's your money.
Right.
That's your right.
Right.
Again, I'll go back to
I get it.
LaGreca. You've
get it.
paid 4 wives, dude. Shut the fuck up. I'm serious. Shut up.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair
Don't
enough.
throw rocks when you live in a fucking glass house, clown boy.
Yeah. That's fair. Well said.
Yeah?
I agree.
All right, let's see.
I can't add to something that, well drilled home.
All right, let me see if I can get something. Humble Canopy. I'm sorry, guys. My friggin' glasses. This
Humble
computer.
pie?
Vince and Linda's relationship is kind of like Will and Jada's. That's a great point.
I don't know where they're
Will
at.
Smith and Jada?
Yeah, I don't know where they're at.
Well, Jada
I
has
don't
an
read
open marriage.
Really?
How do you feel about that, open marriages? If
If
you were
you're-
married to someone and she said,
Listen,
Pharaoh,
if
I would
you're-
like to be
if
with
you're
other people.
both into that, then there's nothing wrong with that. But it's got to be both of you.
Is it immoral?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Why should it be? It's only if it becomes a
In
lie.
God's eyes, that's immoral, right?
Again, like I said before, if you're doing the Christian thing, none of us should have left the house this morning.
Good point.
None of us. None of us. Okay,
Right.
just to spell that out. All right. But as far as what you're getting
Not
at,
even guys that buy their wives on the internet.
Listen. Let's let it.
I'm just asking. Could that guy leave the
How
house?
much is that postage? He's like arguing over the postage.
What?
You guys can see it.
Oh, my God.
He's about to get his purchase.
It costs this much.
What does she eat? Come on, man, dude.
Is it immoral to buy your wife over the internet from Korea?
Hey,
I
look,
wanna
if
know.
I look like that certain person you're asking about that bought the wife over the, I would fucking order it from Mars to get it.
Oh my God.
I mean, the only thing they're missing is the bird seed with that one. No thanks.
JB says the difference is Vince had to pay, Nick didn't. That is the difference.
Right.
But in the whole setup between them,
Right.
it's the same thing.
Right.
Look, guys, we're
how much is this
we're
hush
actually
money?
giving
Everybody
you
knows.
true over $12 million.
No,
dude.
but it's not hush. We all know about it.
Well, that's the other thing.
What's so
That-
hush about
Here-
this?
so here's my
Everybody
question.
knows what's
The
going
two
on. The loud money.
The two clowns
Like
that
the
are
Pharaoh
going
clown,
after this, right? The
Yeah.
two clowns that are going after this,
uh-huh.
right? Now it's been revealed, shouldn't Vince be able to shouldn't he get his money back?
I would say so.
Right? Because
They didn't
you
keep
signed
their
an
mouth- I think
agreement.
that he should get his money back. Nobody kept their mouth shut. So you got free money? Fuck that.
All right,
Give
I'm
it
gonna
back.
name a few things that Vince McMahon has done, and I want you to answer to it.
Okay.
John-
I'm answering to Vince. Okay.
John Oliver.
Yeah.
I'm naming some big problems
I got
Vince
you.
has encountered over the years.
Okay.
John Oliver accuses Vince McMahon of screwing his employees out of health care in 2019.
Vince McMahon, we've heard cases. We've had a billion wrestlers come in. Most of them say Vince has done nothing but right by them. What about the 87 times he sent Scott Hall to rehab? We can name a million more of them. No, I don't buy that Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about his workers. That's bullshit.
Okay.
I've always felt that way. It's bullshit.
An unnamed woman claimed to have been sexually assaulted by Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I can't touch that one. I have no idea who this unnamed person is. I bet you she didn't even get hush money.
I
knows
bet
at
you.
this
I bet she did.
But did she? Maybe that's why she
Who the
remains
fuck
unnamed.
knows?
I
You know
don't
what I
know.
mean?